This is a 2012 Chrysler 300. Blend door actuator has gone out on the driver's side. There's two over there on the passenger side, and there's two on the driver's side. The driver's side ones are a little bit harder to get to, especially the one up top. The lower one, I can show you how to replace in this video. And just to show you, this is the noise you will hear when a blend door actuator has gone out. Either after the car has been turned off and it's trying to cycle, or you're changing some of the controls, temperature, or the direction of airflow. This one is coming from the driver's side. This one is actually the top one that's out. The first thing you want to do is remove this panel right here so you can get to the screws that hold this panel on right here. And you get these trim tools like this and stick them in here and just work your way around it. Takes a good amount of force. You can see it's these clips are held in right here. Then once you get that free, it just comes right out. And then you got this bolt right here and this bolt right here that need to come out. They look like they're 9/32. You can actually hear the blend door right now, and the car's off. I'm not going to be replacing it right now, but it's best when you do go to replace it, unplug your battery and leave it unplugged for 15 minutes so it drains all the power from the car. Because down here, there is an airbag right there, and you don't want to be messing around that with power in the car. So after I get these out, got those two screws, you need to work around here with these trim tools. And just pry it out. See, once you've gotten it free, it'll just pull straight out. It's hard to do with one hand. So once you pull it out, you're going to be left with this. They come in straight at it, so you need to grab it by that lower corner and pull it straight forward to release these clips around here. Then you need to unplug all of these. And I don't know if I can... Yeah, so right there, that one comes out. There's this little tab that you push inward and then pull it out on all of these. There's a little tab. Squeeze it and pull it out, and it looks like that one just came out on its own. These ones, you can use a small trim tool and you put it right in there on that tab and push it back and it will slide right out. It's actually kind of difficult, but you go through and do that to all of these and you'll get it out. So I found a little bit easier way, because that was being really difficult. You take the driver you're going to be using, well, this is a T10 for example, a small knife or something, and you put it in right there and push that pin back and it will slide out much easier this way. I took a picture before I removed these to see where the colors went. When you take them out, they stay pretty well in order, but it's easier just to take a picture just in case. So once you get all these removed, then you go on and get the hood latch removed, which this one, I don't remember. Let's see. You push down on this tab right there and this slides right out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with two hands and I'll come back. So now I've got this unhooked, I pushed in this tab and it slid out. I actually broke that little tab in here. This is about the third time I've had to take this off. Got all these unplugged. Those plug in here. I got the headlight switch and then the dimmers taken out. And then I got this taken out, which I think is a speaker on the other side, microphone, maybe for calls. That plugs in over there. So I get this out of the way. And it's best, I found, to use a bit driver. And if you go up in there, let's see. Yeah, so right here is the airbag. So that's why you want to have the car unplugged. And you can see just barely, right up in here, that is the blend door. It is a huge pain to get to, and it's even harder to record it on the phone. But you can see, let's see. Yeah, you can see the one screw on this side, which is, yeah, it's right there. That gold screw. You have to come in at an angle in between these two and between this wire to get it. And then there's one on the back side, which is not, I can't show you, my phone won't fit in there. There's one more in there. So once you get those out, you can work it out, and then you'll have enough room to unplug this. You'll have enough room to unplug this, slide this red clip up, then you squeeze in, and you can remove that clip. And it comes down. I found it's easier to remove it through the back side over here once you remove this panel. So you can get it in there. To remove this panel, there's that black plastic clip right there that you work this in there with, the trimmed remover, the pry tools, and you get that one out. Once you get that one out, there's another one right there, and you can work this out enough to where you can unplug that light. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that just to show you. So I got the pry tool in there. I was trying to work it out. So I got the one out. On this one, it was a little bit more difficult. So I just pulled it straight out of its hole right there. Get this worked out of the way. So you get that. And then here's the light. So you can just unplug this guy, which again is another one of those, you squeeze it right there and it pulls straight out. And then you can work this out of the way. So with those out of the way, right there, you can get up into there and get the blend door out from this side and get the other screw, which I can't show you on the phone because it won't fit. But you can see one screw there, the plug-in, and there's another screw on this side, a gold screw, just like that. So once you get it out, it's kind of a pain to get in there with a driver, but I found the best thing to do it with is one of those drivers, similar to this. So yeah, that should be all it. So putting it back together is just reverse. I mean, you just clip this right back in. You work this around up into there. And you get this one pushed back up in there, and then this one goes back into this hole over here. Pushed back in. And now you can bring this panel back over here and start plugging it all back in, which, don't forget this, because I forgot this before, and it makes it a pain. It just goes straight up into here. Let's get all lined up. And then it just slides in like that. Then you get this wire. Let's see, how can I do this with one hand? And these all just plug straight back in. Just remember where they go, because I took a picture of where these went, and then all these go back in, and then that one right there. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll come back. So as you can see, I got all these plugged back in now. Just triple check yourself. Make sure you got all these plugged back in. Every single one of them has clicked and engaged. And then make sure you get that on there too for the hood release. So it just goes up. And you got to line all these up. You can see those where they line up in at. Which is So let's see. Yeah, I can't do this with one hand, so I'll come back to you. So once you get it all lined up in there, it should just push straight back. It's lined up, and you can hear it engage like that. Make sure all those are in. Now just remember to reinsert these screws. Make sure it's lined up to these holes. And start threading them back in. So get one going. Get the other one in down here, which is always hard to re-thread in. It might feel like it's cross-threading, because I've had that happen all 4 times I've taken this out. But I'll go ahead and get these put back in. Yep, so I got all those 2 screws put back in, and this again is a, let's see, 9/32 inch socket that I have on a 1/4 inch drive. I got those put back in. You can also use a Phillips, which is a little bit easier sometimes. So once you get that, last thing you want to do is get this panel in here, which you can see that there's a clip up here, and then there's all these tabs in here that engage it all up throughout there. So you kind of want to engage that clip up into there, and kind of an angle like this, and then push it around. So yeah, I just worked it right now, pushed it up into there like that, and you can see it just lines itself up pretty well with those. So once you have it, and it clips back in, and there's no gap. There's no gap around here either, and it all looks good. And then I'll post a picture of the part number, dorman part number that will work at AutoZone. AutoZone calls it a blend door actuator, and Chrysler calls it an air door actuator. So depending on who you ask, it's going to be a different name. So once you get that blend door actuator down there replaced, and you're still having problems with it, or you're hearing it tick, there's 2. So there's that one down there, and then there's one up here. If you go from the bottom and look up, you can see it. I can't get to it with my phone, but you can see it up there. There's 2 hard lines that come around it, maybe for the heater core or the AC evaporator. Not really sure yet. From what I can tell, you have to remove the entire dash. That is one that I also have out, included with that one down there, which I've already gotten to and replaced, which is why I made this video, because I couldn't find anyone else on YouTube changing it. So I kind of figured it out, and then I bought tech manuals for Chrysler techs, and it's not very specific on how to change either one of them, honestly. It's very vague. So I'm trying to figure out still how to change the one up top. So it looks like I'm gonna have to remove the whole dash. I'm not really sure yet, but I'll make a video on that one too once I get that one figured out. But hopefully this helps you guys out, because I know it was really difficult for me trying to figure it out the first time, and with no help on YouTube or anything like that, it made it quite a long, drawn out process. It took me about 5 hours to do the first time, and the second time I changed it out, it took me maybe an hour tops. So good luck.